Hi everyone, we're going to prove theorem 2.5. We're going to copy and complete the proof of the first case of the congruent complements theorem, where two angles are complementary to the same angles. So we have our given, and so what you would write for statement 1 is the given. So you just copy that down. Angle 1 and angle 2 are complements. And also angle 1 and angle 3 are complements. So that would be number 1, and that is given. Now number 2, they give you a hint. That's definition of complementary angles. So for number 2, you're going to write that measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 90 degrees, because that's the definition here. And also the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 3 is going to equal 90 degrees. And again, that's the definition of complementary angles. So for number 3, move on to number 3. 3 states that measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 3. And that's the transitive property, because if measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2, and the measure of 1 equals the measure of angle 3, then when you take number 2, which we had measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 90 degrees, and the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 3 is 90, then we know that that's going to be the transitive property for this one. So transitive is number 3. And then we also know that the measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 1, and that's with me subtracting. Let's see, if I equal this, let me equal this again. So if we say measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 3, if I subtract the measure of angle 1 from both sides, this is equals. If I subtract the measure of angle 1 from both sides, I get this. So that's called your subtraction property. So number 4 is your subtraction property of equality. Subtraction property. And finally, for the last statement, you just write what you're trying to prove. So for number 5, you're going to write that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3, and why that is so, that's the definition of congruent angles. Right, and that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Class, Miss Shaw's class. Boy, I love math. Miss Shaw's class, Miss Shaw's class.
Don't fail. Watch Miss Shaw's videos for free.